Hi, I'm Forrest Rogness.
And I'm Diane Rogness.
It's Rogness Brewing in Pflugerville, Texas.
And you're watching the Beer Diaries.
Rolling fast down I-35, through the day and past the
Hey folks, I'm Zeschuk from the Beer Diaries, here at Rogness Brewing. We're up in Pflugerville, just north of Austin, Texas, here with Forrest and Diane Rogness, the founders and the creators of the recipes. I see 6 beers here. They have even more, and they just started. It's a pretty incredible thing. We'll talk about the beers, how the recipes are created, what they do, and learn a bit more about the brewery. So thank you very much for inviting us to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
And you know, you guys are the newest. I mean, we're filming fairly continually. Actually, we were filming back a couple months ago, and in that time, you guys started.
It's a very long process. We've been doing it since May of last year, with all the paperwork and everything to get in place. But we officially launched in May of this year.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so then, obviously, I mean, you have also dedicated facilities, so getting all the equipment in here. It's a good-sized brew house, a lot of fermenters. Yeah. I mean, because I think obviously the Austin scene itself has kind of exploded, and you've come, I would actually suspect, even in the middle of it, because there's going to be more brewers starting after you for sure.
Right,
right. For sure.
Yeah, in fact, I think there's some next week or something that are starting. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing, the scene, and to be on it. Like I think we were talking a little bit earlier before the interview, your beers are making good distribution around town. There's a lot of taps in town. What's the response been? What's feedback been like?
Very good, very good. We're about ready to launch our 30-barrel system. Okay. And get some more fermenters so that we can really get a lot more accounts. Yeah. We're up to close to, I think we're up close to 70 accounts now.
Wow. What were you brewing on before the 30-barrel system?
Well, we have a 7-barrel that we're using right now, okay, and pedaling as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And then in about a month, we'll be using the large 30-barrel system that we have right here, so that we can really get it out to a lot of different markets.
And also, folks obviously from the Austin beer scene may recognize you guys as being involved in Austin homebrew supply. And I mean, it's interesting, like as a person who's here in the beer scene a little bit, I mean, you guys have a sterling reputation in terms of the kind of stuff you guys are doing there. And we talked earlier, it's been interesting. I mean, what it's been able to do is inform you guys a little bit on the recipes you make. I mean, as you said, you guys make all the recipes. I mean, thousands or something, like an enormous number of recipes.
Yeah, we have over 1,000 recipes.
That's incredible. It really is. I mean, that's a lot of recipes.
Yeah. But we get, what's nice is we've gotten, over the last decade, we've gotten all the feedback on those recipes from customers. Right. So really have a good fine tune of what people are wanting in the beers. And
how did that, obviously you guys appear to be a partnership. You know, how do you guys kind of balance all these? There's a lot of things you guys are juggling.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, if you only knew.
I can imagine. I don't. You know, it's kind of, sometimes you don't want to know. You know, I mean, there's so much going on in people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, we met working together. We were coworkers years ago, working together at a camera store, and we both, you know, he enjoyed beer. When I first met him, I did not like beer. Right. And he said, "You just haven't had the right beer yet."
Well, yeah, it's that exposure to like unique and interesting and flavorful and fresh.
Right. So, yeah, I had a really good beer, and it just kind of grew our interest, and we started home brewing together. And
back in 1990.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Well, and I think that's the thing, is clearly the experience having home brewed is you know, it's interesting because a number of the brewers, almost most of them will have done some sort of home brewing, the professional commercial level ones now. Right. I mean, because it like we talked about this earlier, it's as a do-it-yourself hobby. It creates a spectacular result if you get good at it and you do a good job and you're diligent. You clean your equipment very well.
Sanitize.
Yes, it's funny because honestly, every time, like half people probably don't appreciate this out there, but half the time we go into a brewery, people are cleaning. And then one of the guys at one of the breweries we saw this week, they're joking. We're glorified janitors because all we do is we clean. It's like, but I mean, when you understand the factor of yeast in the beer and what non-sterile conditions will do, you know, you're not going to waste all this effort. Like, cause there's a lot of effort making beer. That's the other thing. It's a lot. It's physical work. It's hard work. It's but the fruits of the labor are delicious. So definitely really good. What do you see for yourselves going forward? Like, I mean, you just set up. I know, we were just moments ago in your tap room. It's just finishing off. You could start tours.
Right.
Every Saturday, most Saturdays. How often do you do tours? You think, or sorry, tastings and tours and stuff like. How often do you do those? You think?
We're intending to have tours every Saturday.
Every Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, barring special events like that
right.
And stuff.
And we may have well, there are a few other ideas we have for events to do that would be, you know, evening events, but right now we're focusing on our Saturday tours.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing because it's funny, like talking about expanding again because you guys just started. You know what I mean? Like it's that amazing situation where you start and go, and again, something very common to the Austin scene. Everyone's already expanding. Yeah. So you know, where do you think it's all going to go? Like the Austin scene, how this all works. What can you imagine it looking like in the future?
Well,
Portland. And
we were just in Denver and saw a map. There's 168 breweries there, and you know, Austin's trying their best to catch up. But
well, we're gonna be doing our best to see those and these ones. It's gonna be a lot of work for us.
Yeah, there was a GBF. There's almost 50,000 people.
Yeah, I heard it was absolutely incredible in terms of the scale this year. It was just amazing.
And it sold out in 45 minutes. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, stiff competition there. How many entries were there?
Oh, I mean
the beer entries, 4,338 entries from 666 breweries.
Wow.
Yeah.
580 some breweries in attendance at the festival. Yeah, it was crazy.
We had really good feedback.
Because you guys were pouring, you were there. You were pouring beers. Were you competing yet, or had you put anything in to compete yet, or
we put 5 of them in to compete, but. We had lots of people saying, somebody told me I have to try this. So
that's
a
wonderful.
lot of people coming over.
Good word of mouth.
Yeah.
And a lot of other brewers too, which is always nice to see brewers come.
Well, I think it's interesting because I've tried about 3 or 4 year beers since you opened, and one thing I think we talked a little about this earlier as well was just they're very bold. I mean, they're very flavorful, very bold, but they're also very unique. Like it's a really interesting range of beers, a range of flavors, which you know most commonly people will do like the pale IPA family. You know, like they'll kind of stick with a certain set. What inspired you to cover that much ground? Like I mean, to really launch with I think you guys said as many as 8.
There are a lot of beers that are not represented or underrepresented, and we kind of want to bring that styles that are not represented. And we kind of want to bring that up for people.
Do you think what you expect what's going to happen is maybe certain ones will be really big sellers and you'll kind of stick with those and then mix in other ones along the way and just stay consistent with a couple, or are you going to rotate all the time? What do you imagine?
Well, we're going to have regular ones. We're going to have quarterly seasonals.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a series called Rogness Reserve where we make one interesting batch and when it's gone, it's gone.
Any future plans on barrel aging or any of those sort of things? Or is that sort of once you get your legs under you? Then...
Yeah, maybe down the road.
Yeah.
We're considering a quarterly funk release.
Oh, really?
Know? So
that'll be cool.
Something
interesting and flavorful and sour. Sour funky.
Yeah, and then also we have the building next door, which we're going to put out. We have to get a winery license. We're going to be having a hard cider in that.
Because we're not busy enough.
Yeah, clearly making this many beers at one time is not enough. So you can do cider. So that's interesting because certainly cider's been making a bit of resurgence, hasn't it? Like it's become quite.
It's really big. It's up to, it's growing like almost 20%.
Wow. How do you imagine that's going to go? Like how are you going to tackle cider? What from your prior experience do you think you're going to bring forward into that?
We're going to have to begin with 2 standard ciders. One drier and crisper, and then another one a little sweeter.
So another interesting thing about the local brewery scene is the style differences. Like I think one of the things I find some of the folks we talked to brew very crisp dry beers. There's also folks doing Belgian style, some doing sours. And like I said, are you trying to fill that sort of that very bold space? Like I find your beers wonderfully bold. Like they're aggressive, but they're really tasty.
Well, we're trying to, like you said here, there's a lot of styles that are underrepresented or not represented in the area or even in the States. And we're just trying to push the envelope and be more aggressive on a different, unique take on styles.
Yeah.
We just don't want to be box ourselves in because we know from experience that there's a beer for everyone.
Yeah,
and we're trying to make a beer for everyone.
Right, no, that makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, transitioning over to the beers in a moment here, I mean, I'm actually drinking the Rattler, which is your pale. I think you're just debuting it next week. It's just hot off the presses.
Well, this is our latest batch.
Latest batch. Okay,
yeah,
so it's already been
fresh.
Okay, it certainly tastes fresh. Yeah. It's very, very fresh.
Yeah, that debuted actually in July.
Okay, I mean, this is a really nice pale. I mean, would you almost call it American pale? Like, I mean, that's because it's interesting because this new kind of category between the IPA and the pale ale has appeared. Yeah. Very front hoppy, but actually, I really like the finish. It's got a really super tangy, dry finish. Yeah. What was the goal with the Rattler? Is that kind of what you wanted to accomplish, like a kind of bold but not over the top kind of beer?
A lot of pale ales that are made might as well be IPAs.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it clean and crisp and not too over the top hoppiness. So.
Yeah, I definitely find that, but I also find, like, again, the malt is very subtle on this, but it also finishes really nice and dry. This is the Oktoberfest called Rogtoberfest. That's and I had that. So this should be the Rogtoberfest, and this was it's a really delightfully spicy Oktoberfest. Like, it's interesting because, again, very obviously very coppery, almost reddish, and really really. Like I said, spicy, but again, not over the top. They had that nice kind of toasty malt, not roasted or caramel, but just a really nice. What was the goal here? I mean, is it everyone has to have an Oktoberfest? You guys want to put your mark on it?
Yeah, it's going to be a seasonal.
What kind of hops are you using in this? I mean, the hops in this are they again the spicy? Are they like the?
We brought in a unique hop that's well, it's somewhat readily available, but it's not used very often.
Yeah,
it's a German. Smargd hop, I believe.
Really?
It's a unique flavor and aroma.
No, it's a nice one because I think it again has a really nice malty quality to it, with a little more earthy and spicy at the initial attack, but again not overpowering it, to say the least. And in my maneuvering, I've already forgotten what this one is.
I think that's the chai.
No,
the chai is that one. Oh, this would be
Biere de Garde.
Biere de Garde, yes. So Biere de Garde, and you guys call it Beardy Guard.
There's a huge beard contingency in Austin.
Yes, there is. And I think the Austin Facial Hair Club was here for the opening.
Yeah. And what's funny is we went to GBF, the welcome packet. Well, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. The goodie bag for the welcome pack.
Yep.
The welcome packet.
For all the brewers.
For all the people who went to GABF.
Yep.
No, for the brewers.
For the brewers, excuse me.
The special people at GABF.
Yeah.
Included a beard trimmer. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
I
feel slightly embarrassed with the beard I have now coming into these places, but I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to use science and technology to get it back to its robustness. But
well, it's good that there's an assumption that every single brewer has a beard.
Yeah, and actually I often discuss facial hair with the brewers, and we have beard offs, but I'm out of that. So the Biere de Garde is a tell me about what your objective was.
Well, it is a French saison amber ale. The reason why we called it literally Biere de Garde is because there's not a lot of them out there. If it's on tap and it's a foreign word, some people would be afraid to slaughter the name and would say, well, I'm not even going to try that, I'm going to order something else. So we just called it phonetically what it is, so that people wouldn't be afraid to say the words.
Yeah, and I think, and didn't it mean sort of almost like just house beer in French? Like it's a good, just it's beer. Like it's a really interesting thing because, and so there's probably a large amount of variety within the style. Yeah. And I'm getting a lot of cinnamon. Is there cinnamon in this?
No,
one?
it's just
it's the hops or
the.
It's always amazing when you say, I swear there's this, and they go, no.
The yeast is real spicy. So
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I find them tend to be a little richer than the saisons. When the saisons tend to be a little more effervescent. Biere de Garde is this one really spicy, and that's the thing. Again, bold. I mean, bold flavors. The Oost, O-S-T, Oost is a porter.
Yeah.
Any special things in terms of consideration for this one? What sort of style did you go with this?
Well, it's more of a London style robust porter, if there's such a thing. But it means a cross between a robust porter and a London porter. London porters being more chocolatey and creamy.
Yeah. Oh, this is really nice.
Thank you.
Very smooth.
Chocolate. This could be the most evil beverage ever created. This is actually really. This is really flavorful. This is I'm a huge porter fan.
Yeah.
And so.
Trying to balance the big roastiness with the creamy chocolatey thing.
No, it is really creamy chocolatey, and it doesn't have that. Sometimes some get like a slight bit smoky in the back, and that it doesn't have that. It's just got smooth chocolatey.
Yeah.
Look at this one. It's so it's delicious. Next was the Yogi. Okay. And Yogi is a chai ale.
This is chai spiced amber ale.
An amber. Okay. So tell me about.
I have a love for chai.
And it really smells like it.
Have to drink chai every day.
There you go.
Day's not complete without chai.
The cardamom is
Day's not complete without a beer.
Yeah.
Day's not complete without a chai beer.
Yeah.
That's 3 beverages. That's not bad. So it's cardamom and is that what it's supposed to?
Cardamom, clove, ginger, cinnamon, black pepper. It doesn't actually have tea in it. It's just the spices that they add to tea to make chai.
Very spicy. No, it's really nice. I mean, the nose, again, it really does smell like a cup of chai. Yeah. I mean, not that I'm recommending this, but warmed. Yeah. Could be a warming beverage. Like I think beer's not typically room temperature is about
or with a scoop of vanilla.
there you go.
Absolutely.
But it's one of our most popular. It was really our most popular at GABF. So it's more unique.
I think it's a very unique. Yeah, no, I really, and actually again the body is good. The malt's not overpowering, but the spice doesn't it's nice and crisp. Like it's potent. Then it kind of melts away pretty nicely. It's really, really tasty. I see you pulled out some tricks on these recipes for sure. And finally, I have had the Rook, and the Rook is a powerful beer.
Yeah.
Like I love smoked beers, and there's obviously a very big smoky character to this. Yeah. It's a Scotch ale. Is that
Scotch ale? We pushed the envelope with the peat smoked malt, but. This
would make the Lafroig lovers cringe.
Yeah.
It's
a real popular with people that love Scotch whiskey.
No, it is. Actually,
if you take, it's a nice complex recipe. If you take a half an ounce of your favorite Scotch and add it to a pint of Rook, it's just wonderful.
Wow,
yummy.
That would be that sounds like a recipe for disaster and deliciousness. I think both at the same time. And it's really I love smoked beers. And so it was a very because I think this one's got a very strong nose of smoke, but also finishes with a strong smokiness as well. But very, very cool. Gigantifus is your IPA, I believe.
Double Imperial
IPA.
I have had that one separately. You guys didn't have it on today because you only have 6 taps. Tell me a little bit about that one. What was the goal there?
The challenge is to. We were talking about it. We were talking about beers that have really high IBUs.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just punch you in the face, hop profiles. And we thought, we need to make one that's really palatable and
kind
very
of more balanced.
Right.
High IBU but balanced.
Yeah. So it's 103 IBUs and 9%.
Yeah, I found it to be a it's interesting though you mentioned that. Like I knew it was a powerful one. I mean, I think there's that point at which your palate stops. Right. I think they say somewhere between 80 to 100 range. Most palates can't detect. Yeah. Like you hit the palate limit, and it's. But I found it really, again, nice and balanced. Like all these, even though they're very, very, very bold, strong styles and bold, strong beers, not a single one has sat too hard on my palate. They've been very light, very dry. Just remarkable, actually, and I think I'm going to have some more of this one because what I always do in the show is I declare my favorite, and I got to say the Oost is absolutely spectacular. This is a delicious
It's
beer.
our favorite porter, but we're kind of biased. So
I have nothing but great things to say about this one.
Thank you.
So you mentioned earlier something we were talking on the side. You're in Pflugerville. If folks aren't familiar with Austin, Texas, Pflugerville is just to the northeast.
Yeah.
But you mentioned you're not long to be in Pflugerville. There's sort of a unique thing going on here that kind of interesting.
We spent a long time searching for a location for our brewery in Austin area. Kept having all these different roadblocks thrown up at us, and started to get a little frustrated with it. Decided to expand our parameters, and we live in Pflugerville. Why not brew in Pflugerville?
Yeah.
So so that's how we ended up here, and then about a month ago we got a letter from Austin saying we're about to be annexed to Austin anyway.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're back in Austin.
So yeah.
So we're going to be the Pflugerville's first brewery and Austin's newest brewery at the same time, very shortly.
One question about the past in home brewing. You probably ran across a lot of really spectacular homebrewers. Apparently, in the Austin area itself, there's some really tremendously talented, award-winning. Yeah, any call-outs there to the homebrewing crew that you know here in the area?
Yeah, shout out to the Diaries and Mark Shoppy and Mr. Bradley and
Mr. Martin.
All the both Martins, Corey Martin just won one of the winners of the national Sam Adams long shot competition.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, that's fabulous.
So we got
some real talent, talent. It's I think and funny. We were at when we were at Black Star Co-op. We had the Old Sour Dewberry, which was I think the Dewberries won a little contest they had, and they made sour mashed beer, which is really tasty. It's really good. So yeah, it's interesting because I think that there's been again a long history of success in the home brewing scene here, and really cool. So cheers.
Cheers.
Prost, Schlant, Skål, Na zdrowie, all those. Thank you, folks. This is Greg from the Beer Diaries signing off. Thank you very much.